building technically two different projects here, right? One of the very interesting project, technically every companies in the world do the same, right? So guys, if you want, if for example, let's start with this way. There is one company and maybe called as Netflix as a company. So this is, let's suppose, one company here, and this company, they are uploading the profile picture of the users in maybe S3 bucket of AWS cloud. So in the cloud, in the AWS cloud, there is one bucket called S3 as a bucket, and in the S3 bucket, they are uploading maybe their profile picture, right? So technically, for their perspective, this is very, very important part, right? So for customer perspective, we see and we change our profile picture. For example, now let's not take an example of Netflix, let's take an example of LinkedIn or maybe Instagram, talking about over here, whatever we have it, right? So social media application we're talking about, right? So they are uploading their profile picture here. So whatever profile picture their user has updated here, they want to go and see their profile picture. So every time the user do login, just today, maybe after 10 days after, whenever they do the login, their profile picture should remains the same, right? It is just not like in this way that we are having a profile picture here, and this profile picture is technically uploaded for 10 minutes only. After 10 minutes, there is no this deleted here, for example, right? So again, this is not the way profile picture is updated. Every time a user come up, right, they should see their own profile picture, and it should be publicly also visible to everyone in the world, right? So in this way, if we talk about the company perspective, if we talk about the cloud perspective, if we talk about, as a think it about like a DevOps engineer, so this profile picture is very, very critical in terms of company perspective over here. So this side is the client architecture where they uploaded this. So whatever they uploaded inside our S3 bucket, I want it to be technically permanent over here. It means I will keep this backup of this particular drive, this particular bucket in multiple different regions. Maybe I can do it. Maybe I want to keep a backup of any specific folder, out of which there is one folder called S3 as a folder, and to keep those very, very critical files. Maybe profile picture as a folder, they have stored all the images over there, not just images, any documents or any other stuff you guys had it. We wanted to make it permanent over here, right? This is one of the scenario we want to take. Technically every companies will not store it in just one single bucket, they will store it multiple different buckets. So there is multiple strategies, which means this bucket we will be deploying it maybe in another region also. Some region, maybe this one bucket running in Mumbai, one bucket running in Virginia. We want, as soon as we upload something inside this bucket, automatically it should go and upload it over here. We can do this. Answer is yes. In the world of AWS cloud, answer is this. Can we do the multiple region upload? So one bucket, even though you upload it somewhere else, or one single bucket, automatically it should go and upload it in another bucket also. Can we do this? Answer is yes. But this is not my motto. I don't want to create actually replication. I'm talking about, this is what is called replication. रेप्लीकेशन मीन्स एक बकेट में अगर कोई ऑब्जेक्ट यहाँ पे एडेड है तो ऑटोमेटिकली उसको रेप्लीकेट कर दो, उसी को ऐड कर दो सेकेंड डिफरेंट बकेट में, right? But I don't want this replication part also. I want a pure backup, guys. Which means, for example, if my system, local system I'm talking about, my laptop, I have some folder here. I want this folder to be automatically backup inside a S3 bucket. So very interesting project we had it. So you're creating technically backup, maybe a folder, maybe a file, uploading all those particular objectives in the world of cloud. So right, one thing we will be doing it over here, right? So now what I want first, very important thing, guys, I need to create multiple backups, right? So I have a multiple backup. So for this, what I'll do, I'll create one file. in my Jupyter notebook. So technically, what I want here is very simple. I want to do a backup of maybe one folder, or maybe I want to do the backup of some files, and I want everything to be stored in the bucket. Maybe some notes, maybe some resume, maybe some photos, everything should be created and stored in one folder. So I want to take a backup of multiple other stuffs. So in this case, what I'm doing it here, technically I am creating a backup over here, backup of some file. So for this case, what I want is I want to upload the S3 bucket first, right? So in this case, what I'm doing, I'm opening my Jupyter notebook. Just let me open my Jupyter notebook quickly. So it's stored in my documents folder, and inside the documents folder, it's stored here. So I'm opening this in the Jupyter notebook. Just quickly launch it. Right. So they launch a Jupyter notebook terminal for me. Right. So they have opened this code here. Now let me create a new Jupyter notebook here. Let me give this name as a day 10. Day 10, just I'm giving a day 10 name of this particular file. So in this case, technically what I want is first thing, I want to create my S3 bucket. Can I create it with the Boto3 library? Answer is yes. Right. But here I just to make things little bit quicker. What I'm doing, I'm going it into my S3 bucket manually. In this bucket, I'm going it into manually here. And I'm creating one bucket in this region, maybe Mumbai as a region. This is some another bucket I created for a different objective. Let me delete this bucket. It's not required. Let's delete this bucket. So this extra bucket, I'm deleting it over here. Guys, it's taking a little bit time. I don't know why here. Maybe let's not delete this. Let's focus on the part. So let me quickly create bucket, and here I'm creating the general purpose bucket, and maybe you can give the name of the bucket, any of the name you want to create it. So I'm creating here maybe the backup bucket. Maybe let's give it a name called backup bucket. Backup hyphen bucket hyphen maybe 001, some name. If this name is available in the global namespace, it will be created over there. So I'm quickly unblocking all the public access, unblocking it. I know I want to acknowledge it, right? Even though versioning is disabled, I can enable it later on. So let me quickly create a bucket. So they're telling me this bucket name already exists. So maybe give them 000 or 4 times 01. This name should be unique. So let me scroll down right side and create a bucket. Right. This bucket is created, and in this bucket, I'm going to give a get permission. So there are multiple policies, bucket policies. I quickly go and edit the policy. This is the ARN. I am giving the access of get object access on this. So policy, AWS policy generator. This is one of the tool which helps us to generate the policies. So I'm clicking on generate policy, and here I'm creating this policy for S3 bucket. So I'm telling S3 bucket, I want to allow one policy here. What is the principle? I want to go for all the policies. What action do you want to allow? I said get object option. Well, this is one of the policy, guys. OB object, which means all the objects they've in stored in my this file, well, technically they'll be able to access it. Now this is the ARN, Amazon resource name, which I just copied from my S3 bucket policy here. This is here, it is mentioned. And on this, I quickly did forward slash and star, which means for all the object, for all the resources, I want to allow it over there. I click on add the statement and I click on generate policy. This policy has been generated. I can copy this policy quickly here, right? And in my bucket, I can update the same policy. The policy updated. Now let me scroll down and click on save the changes. So whatever object I will be uploading it over there, all the policies will be added it over there in my case. Now in this case, I'm in this folder. Maybe let me create one new folder. Or maybe let's keep it here only. I want to create one file here, guys. Technically, is called as with the help of Notepad. So Notepad, I want to create one file called config.py as a file. What this file contains nothing right now. This new file created, and in this file there is nothing here. I'm creating some variables in this file. Maybe one of the variable is called bucket. Maybe name, just a name I'm giving it. This variable I'm going to use it somewhere, and inside this bucket name I'm going to give my S3 bucket name. So my S3 bucket name is this one. I'm copying this bucket name here and just pasting it in this case, right? And one more variable I can store it. So where is my backup folder? Where is my local folder? So technically I want to keep one backup folder also with me. So what I'm doing, let me do one thing, guys. Let me create a new folder here called project, maybe project 4. Just a name I'm giving it, building it here. So inside this, I want to quickly save it first. Control S, save it, close it. And now this code file, this this, where is that particular file? Config.py file. This file, I'll move it technically inside this folder. So all my project code, I'm going to write it over here. Even though we can run the entire Python program, guys, anywhere in the world. For example, I'm creating here one file, or for example, in the terminal, you want to run it, right? So I will type Python. So you can get a Python interpreter on your terminal also. It's Python, enter. So whatever code of Python you know it, for example, print, hello, all, it will run it, right? In fact, I can create one, for example, in this folder, I want to come out of this Python function. So I can type a exit function and they will close this entire Python interpreter. So this interpreter, we can run it technically on the command prompt as well if you want to run it, right? And here I'm creating one folder called, maybe new folder. I'm creating it called as backup. Right? Just a name of the folder. And maybe if something we want to restore it also, so for this, I'm creating one more folder, empty folder called restore over here. Enter. So restore and backup are the two different folders. I created it over here, right? Now inside this, what I want to write a code, right? Code, what it will do, it will do the backup of something to my folder. So it will technically tell where is your backup folder created. So every time you go and run it, it will go and create a backup over there for me. So in this case, I'm technically going, and first let me create one file here inside the terminal only. I'll create maybe backup.py. So in maybe notepad backup, sorry, BACKU backup.py. So inside this folder, I will write the entire backup code. So backup code, which means whatever file is present inside the S3 will go and download and create it inside our folder automatically. Whenever somebody wants it, we want this, whenever somebody runs this, they take the entire backup of the S3 bucket, right? So what I want inside this backup folder, I want to technically load some code. So I'll write this code here in my term in Jupyter notebook. That's a data and code. I'm creating it over here. So first thing, I want to import one library called Boto3 as a library. So this library imported, and inside this, I want to import one more library called OS as a library. So OS library is OS module of Python, which will help us to technically load all the files, right? So for example, if you want to run the OS level commands, we'll use the OS library over here. But I want to import one more library called datetime library. Inside datetime, guys, there is an option called datetime only. So datetime is the name of the function. So if I run this, they will import all the file over here. And one more thing I need to import is my configuration file here. So whatever we have written inside our config file, so this entire code, I want to open it over here. So this is the backup name. And inside this, one more thing I'll add it. So what is my backup code? What is my bucket name? In fact, I can tell local folder also, local folder, just a variable I'm creating, guys. Local folder is backup. Backups over here, right? Maybe restore folder. If you want to restore it, restore underscore folder is restored. So two value to take the backup, whatever you put inside it, it will automatically take the backup. Whatever you want to restore it, you can restore it inside this folder. So all the values will be stored over here in the restore folder. Now I'm telling this as a restore, just a value as a restore in my case. So three different variables with three different values I have created it over here. Just a way I'm creating a different way of writing. We can create it into any of the way, right? And now this config file, I want to import it also, guys. So I want all this configuration which is stored in my second different file called as config file. So जो भी variables हमने config file में create किए हैं वो सारे values को हमें backup में लेने हैं, maybe backup.py file में, backup.py file में या किसी और file में import करने हैं. So in this case we can import it also. So from config, I'm telling I want to import star. Star means technically all the files. So no module name config, they're telling me here, because technically it is not saved. They both are stored in a different location. So my date 10 file is stored in some another location, Jupyter notebook, and this is stored in some another location. That is why they're giving me this error here. So let me close this Jupyter notebook. Let me move this day 10 notebook inside this folder. So day 10, I'm inserting into project 4. Now I'm going back to my home folder, and inside this project 4 there is a folder here called day10. Now if you run this, it will work fine. See, all the libraries has been imported. So it was not the error, it was technically telling कि config file config.py से कोई file ही वहाँ present नहीं है. You just need to import it properly over there. So maybe different direction, different directories, you uploaded it over there. So it's always should be in a single stream directory from where you are importing. Or otherwise you can give a complete option also where your entire file is located. We can give that also. So I'm telling S3 do one thing, just a variable I'm creating. So I'm connecting a Boto3 client here, guys. So inside Boto3 there is an option called as client, which will technically helps us to connect it. So I'm telling inside this I want to connect the S3 bucket, and I'm telling what is my backup folder. So I'm telling here my backup folder, backup maybe folder is stored in some location. So inside date time I'm selecting the option called now. Inside now it will give me the correct date and time which is happening right now. तो ये मॉड्यूल पाइथन का मॉड्यूल है. अगर आप डेट टाइम मॉड्यूल को रन करोगे तो ये टेल यू व्हाट इज द टाइम राइट नाउ. सो द डेट टाइम फंक्शन मिसिंग द आर्गुमेंट ईयर. So you have to tell what is the date time of 2026. So technically some values they are missing it, but inside this there is one more function called date time. So date time now function अगर आप run करोगे date time dot now, you will see what is the date and time right now. They will give you the output. Now this output is not properly formatted. तो हम इसको बोलेंगे जो भी डेट और टाइम अभी है राइट नाउ इसको स्ट्रिंग फॉर्मेट में स्टोर करना है. स्ट्रिंग फॉर्मेट ऑफ द टाइम, right? So I want it to be stored in the string format. What I want inside the string, I'm using maybe backup underscore maybe percent maybe Y, capital Y for years, and then I want month, so percent M, small m for month, technically we resemble it. You can press shift and tab if you don't know this particular prospective this format here. But it is okay, percent Y, capital Y for year, percent small m for month. Maybe I want the day also, so percent D for the day, right? And I want this is this date at what R, so percent H is technically for R and percent M is for minute. I can tell which hour, what minute, what time. So just underscore as a separator, and I'm telling here percent uh, month हो गया seconds, वो minutes हो गया seconds. So what time, what hour, what minute. Automatically, what will happen here by doing this, guys? Whenever I run the code, so every time they will not go and update the same file. So every time they will generate a new file over here, new folder inside the backup for me, right? Now let me quickly run this here. This is also running. So I don't want to run this. Let me make this as a markdown, right? So my backup folder, I have decided in which folder I want to update it. But I also want to do one more thing. In this, I will apply a for loop. So for whatever file is present inside the OS, so inside OS, there is one function called list directory. ये फंक्शन क्या करेगा, ये जो भी फाइल आपके लोकल फोल्डर में, जो हमने वेरिएबल बनाया है लोकल फोल्डर नाम से, जिसकी लोकेशन है बैकअप नाम से, राइट? तो इस फोल्डर के अंदर जो भी फाइल है उसको पहले तो लिस्ट करेगा. हमें लिस्ट कर रहे हैं इस फाइल की, फिर इस फाइल के अंदर इसका पाथ हम फाइंड कर लेंगे. तो जो भी इसका कंप्लीट पाथ है, तो हम यहाँ पे ओएस मॉड्यूल में एक ऑप्शन होता है पाथ नाम से. So inside this path, I want to join the path over here. Where with what folder? Instead with the help of local folder here. Local folder, right? Inside this, I want to join it here. And I want to pass the file also here, right? So this entire path, I'm passing it. And I can write one condition also. Agar if something is present in the path, so यहाँ पे एक function होता है जिसको बोला जाता है is file. सो इज फाइल फंक्शन, अगर ये पाथ के अंदर वो कोई भी फाइल प्रेजेंट है, तो इस फाइल को हमें तभी इस फंक्शन को रन करना. किसको रन करना? तो सबसे पहले S3 को बोलेंगे S3 डू वन थिंग, इफ दिस कोड इज प्रेजेंट, अगर वो फोल्डर के अंदर कोई भी फाइल प्रेजेंट है तो इसको अपलोड कर दो. तो अपलोड अंडरस्कोर फाइल इज वन ऑफ द कीवर्ड. So ये keyword, it requires tons more other thing, guys. So if you press shift and tab, it required file name, it requires a bucket name, and it requires multiple other values here. So I'm telling here in this case, what is your bucket name? So whatever the path is, this is my bucket file name where it is stored. So one by one, one by one, one by one, they will go and pick it for me in our case. This for loop will run till that particular time. Now in this case, I want to give a bucket name also. तो हमारा bucket name हमारे bucket underscore name नाम के वेरिएबल में stored है. देखो automatically it is coming up even though I did not added this variable here. Why it is coming up? Because we have imported a config file and all the values which are stored inside the config, they are also imported over here, right? And now what I want after this, what file name you want to give it. So I'm just inside backup folder. I want to join this name with the maybe forward slash add कर देना उसमें, plus do one thing add. तो पाथ आपका जनरली गाइस फॉरवर्ड स्लैश में इस तरीके से होता है ना, तो फोल्डर का नेम मे बी बैकअप है तो बैकअप स्लैश, मे बी इमेज का है तो मे बी index.html फॉर एग्जांपल index.html. सो दिस इज जस्ट अ बैकअप ऑफ वन पर्टिकुलर फाइल हियर. सो इस तरीके से हम उसको ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं ताकि वो एक कंटिन्यूअस फॉर्म में स्ट्रिंग में स्टोर हो, तो हम उसको बाद में यूज कर पाए. तो इसको ऐड कर दिया है पर्टिकुलरली यहां से. So this entire file will run and take the backup. And after taking the backup, maybe हम इसको बोल देंगे do one thing, print it over there. Print file और जो भी फाइल अपलोडेड हुई है. तो फाइल जो भी है मे बी index.html uploaded. तो uploaded it will tell us over here. एंड आफ्टर दिस एंटायर ब्लॉक ऑफ कोड रन, हम प्रिंट कर देंगे यहाँ पे बैकअप कंप्लीट। Backup completed. So this is the entire code of it. I want to do and merge this entire code, guys, into one single cell. So let me select all the cells and let me press shift and M. So yeah, all the cells will get merged over here. This is the entire code for backup. I'm storing it maybe and pasting it into the backup file. So backup.py यहाँ पे paste कर देते हैं इसको. We have pasted this code. राइट, अब इस कोड में मे बी हमारे पास एक टेस्ट करते हैं इसको। तो इनसाइड दिस वी हैव वन फोल्डर प्रोजेक्ट 4 में यहाँ बैकअप में कुछ भी नहीं है, तो इसमें हम मे बी एक टेक्स्ट फाइल ऐड कर देते हैं, मे बी इसको बोल देते हैं नोट्स डॉट टी एक्स टी। तो मे बी नोट्स डॉट टी एक्स टी, हाई ऑल हाउ आर यू, दैट्स आई एम सेविंग इट। जस्ट नोट्स डॉट टी एक्स टी नाम की एक फाइल है हमारे पास इस बैकअप फोल्डर में, right? And now as soon as I run this code, it should go and upload the entire code. The system cannot find the path backups. तो हमने बैकअप नाम से बनाया था या बैकअप्स नाम से बनाया था? तो इट वाज बैकअप, देयर वाज नॉट बैकअप्स ओवर हियर। तो हमने यहाँ मिस्टेक कर दी हमारे कॉन्फ़िग फाइल में, ये हमें उसने मेंशन कर दिया है। तो कॉन्फ़िग फाइल को एडिट करते हैं नोटपैड में, इट इज नॉट बैकअप्स, इट इज बैकअप, कंट्रोल एस, एंड नाउ इफ यू रन द कोड दे विल गो एंड लिस्टेड। तो लोकल फोल्डर में क्या बोल रहे हैं? द सिस्टम कैन नॉट फाइंड द स्पेसिफिक पाथ बैकअप्स। तो बैकअप ही तो है, हमने अभी जस्ट सेव किया है, कंट्रोल एस एंड रन इट। द सिस्टम कैन नॉट बैकअप्स, ये तो रीनेम भी हो गया होगा ना, बैकअप, right? Let me restart the kernel quickly. So one single click, the entire kernel will get restarted over here. Now let me run the code. So what happens? See node .txt uploaded, and one single click, you see inside your bucket now, they will see maybe student backup bucket, and this bucket यहाँ पे इसको रिफ्रेश करेंगे तो एक बैकअप फोल्डर बन चुका है। ये फोल्डर के अंदर जो भी फाइल हमने डाली थी notes डॉट टी की, ऑल द फाइल्स हैज बीन क्रिएटेड है। सो इसको हम व्यू भी कर सकते हैं क्विकली। जैसे हमने ओपन व्यू किया, ये डाउनलोड हो चुकी है notes डॉट टी। इसको नोट करेंगे, हाय हाउ आर यू ऑल, ये सेम फाइल वहां पे बैकअप हो गई है। तो वन सिंगल क्लिक, द एंटायर फोल्डर वट एवर वी स्टोर्ड इट, ये पूरा हमने इसको बैकअप कर दिया है। राइट, लॉट मोर अदर थिंग्स वी कैन डू इट हियर। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अब हमें जो भी बैकअप क्रिएट हुआ है उस बैकअप को मे बी हमें लिस्ट करना है। तो यहाँ पे हम एक बैकअप डॉट पी वाई से फाइल बनाया, मे बी हमें लिस्ट बैकअप डॉट पी वाई से बना सकते हैं फाइल। तो जो भी बैकअप है 1 2 3 4 5, तो उसके लिए हम सारे इसको इंपोर्ट कर देते हैं। तो हम जितने भी बैकअप क्रिएट करेंगे बार बार, इनफैक्ट गाइज अगर हम इसको जितनी बार रन करेंगे उतनी बार नया फोल्डर क्रिएट होगा। देखो नया फोल्डर क्रिएट होगा। अभी यहाँ पे हम इस बकेट में देखें तो 2 फोल्डर क्रिएट हो गए, 1657 पे, 1658 पे, 26 सेकेंड, 35 सेकेंड्स। तो फोल्डर का नाम यूनिक हो रहा है, बार बार वी रनिंग इट, तो इट्स जस्ट टेकिंग कंटिन्यूअस बैकअप ओवर देयर। इसको अगर आप कुछ इफ यू नो क्रॉन जॉब ऑफ लिनक्स, आप इसको कंटिन्यूस रन कर सकते हो, इस कोड को, इस स्क्रिप्ट को, पाइथन की स्क्रिप्ट को, और आप जितना भी बैकअप है उस सिस्टम का ऑटोमेटिकली अपलोड कर सकते हो S3 bucket में. So mostly if you know Linux admin, you guys can go, there is one command in Linux, one technical tool in Linux called as cron as a tool. Right, and this tool guys, you don't have to run it manually, ये automatically run कर देगा आपके वहां पे। तो ये Linux का speciality है, Linux का tool है। If you know it, it is okay. If you don't know it, that is also fine. Right? One more thing I want to do is list, maybe for example, list backup, BACK backup history. So just a list backup history. I want to list the entire backups over here. Now in this case, तो जो भी बैकअप उस फोल्डर के अंदर क्रिएटेड है उसके लिए हम वापस पूरा कोड लिख रहे हैं। व्हाई? बिकॉज राइट नाउ आई एम रनिंग दिस कोड on my own and every file is a unique file, and later on I will import all these files in one single code, right? And then from there this code will run it. So I'm just creating the scripts also of the Python in a separate different file. Even though we can create in one single file also with the different function names, but I don't want to run it in that way. I want to run it in a different way today here. So again, I'm going to import Boto3 as a library, right? I'm from the config file, I'm importing all the variables which are stored. So all the variables means star. Now again, S3, I'm telling my Boto3 client is S3 here. So this client is S3 and I'm importing it over here. In this case, I want to retrieve all the bucket. I want to list all the bucket. तो S3 के अंदर एक option होता है list objects. You can see so many options. List bucket analytics, list bucket, list directory bucket, list object version. There is one option called list object v2. राइट ये क्या करेगा आई वॉन्ट टू लिस्ट ऑल द ऑब्जेक्ट किसको ऑब्जेक्ट को करना है तो यहाँ पे हम बकेट का नेम पास कर सकते हैं तो माय बकेट इस बकेट के अंदर जितने बकेट अंडरस्कोर नेम जितने भी ऑब्जेक्ट्स है जितनी भी फाइल्स है उसको सब लिस्ट कर दो और उसको स्टोर कर लो रिस्पॉन्स नाम के वेरिएबल में यहाँ पे वन सिंगल क्लिक एंड ऑल द वैल्यूज हैज बीन डन राइट अब हम क्या करेंगे इसको हम एक वैल्यूज को फोल्डर्स नाम से एक वेरिएबल बना देते हैं FOLDERS और इसको हम सेट कर देंगे ऑब्जेक्ट को सो आई एम सेटिंग सम विद यूजिंग सम सेट वैल्यूज आई एम सेटिंग दिस फोल्डर्स ओवर हियर सो क्या होगा ये वेरिएबल वहां पे क्रिएट फोल्डर वहां पे क्रिएट हो जाएगा अब इस फॉर लूप में जितने भी वैल्यू है फॉर ऑल द आइटम्स इनसाइड द रिस्पॉन्स सो रिस्पॉन्स को अगर आप प्रिंट करोगे तो रिस्पॉन्स को एक बार पहले क्विकली प्रिंट कर देते हैं रिस्पॉन्स इट कंटेन्स टन्स ऑफ थिंग्स अब इसमें से इतनी सारी डिटेल्स में से जिसमें से होस्ट आईडी है डेट टाइम है लास्ट मॉडिफाइड है हमें सारे इंफॉर्मेशन को नहीं रिट्रीव करना है देयर इज वन वेरिएबल हियर जिसका नाम है कंटेंट्स सो समवेयर और द अदर देयर इज वन वेरिएबल जहां पे ये की है और एक कंटेंट्स नाम से होना चाहिए यहाँ पे वेरिएबल ये है कंटेंट्स हम सिर्फ इस कंटेंट्स को निकालेंगे I don't want this entire response to be. So inside this, I will tell do one thing. Do one thing. Don't print the entire response. Instead, print the response. उसका content print कर दो. So sorry, contents. Run it. तो अब ये contents आ रहा है. अब contents में भी क्या print करना है हमें? तो यहाँ हम वो भी mention कर सकते हैं. Contents. डू वन थिंग कंटेंट्स के अंदर इसको फॉर लूप लगा देते हैं क्विकली तो ये बार बार इस फॉर लूप को आइटम को रिट्रीव करेगा सो फॉर में भी इसको आइटम दे देते हैं इनसाइड रिस्पॉन्स डॉट कॉन्टेक्स्ट राइट सो इसको रिट्रीव करना है इस वैल्यू को सो अगेन दिस रिस्पॉन्स के अंदर यहाँ पे हम गेट मेथड यूज करेंगे get method and in this get function there is response get function they will go and retrieve some value here और इसको एक store कर देंगे एक empty list में हमारे केस में right so I'm just storing it inside of one empty list and let me run the code so sorry control Z and colon so close it now here I am applying a folder let me tell where it is stored so inside folder I am telling whatever values we have so inside item all the values their key name this key guys this key I'm going to use it here so their key जो भी वैल्यू है इस की उसको स्प्लिट कर दो using split function so separate the values of the split by split अब split किस बेसिस पे करना है क्या कॉमा सेपरेटेड स्प्लिट करना है क्या फॉरवर्ड स्लैश separated split करना है I'm saying forward slash separated I want to split it over here so this in and store the value of at the 0 position so फोल्डर का वैल्यू यहाँ पे साइन कर दिया अब इस फोल्डर के अंदर हम बहुत सारी चीजें कर सकते हैं क्या कर सकते हैं ऐड कर सकते हैं किसको all the folders we have inside the bucket so multiple इसको folders करते हैं folders add the backup inside the entire folder now after this just do one thing print backup history, right? So I want to retrieve the entire history. So spelling is wrong. This is backup history. So I said for loop लगाते हैं for all the folder, whatever value we have in stored in the sorted format and inside the folders, do one thing, print the folders. That's it. So for loop लगा दिया सारे folders के ऊपर और यहाँ पे store कर रहे हैं. So what will happen as soon as you run the code? See, two backups are stored. Right now, two backups are stored inside my S3. See, same output, I'm getting it over here. So this is the backup history, and this is what the backup was created at this particular time. Right? This is the backup history we created over here. Now I can restore this entire file, maybe history या backup. इसको एक list backup नाम से एक फाइल बना देंगे, उसमें स्टोर कर सकते हो आप लोग इस कोड को. I don't want to create it here, but just let me quickly convert it into one single cell. So I'm selecting the entire cell and I'm telling shift and M. Sorry, control Z, shift M. So entire code merge in one single file. Right. इसको हम बाद में भी फोल्डर डिफरेंट फोल्डर्स में स्टोर कर सकते हैं, but just one thing I want to do it. Later on I'll show it over here in our case. Right now maybe I'm listing some more value. So अब हम restore करना चाहते हैं code को. Restore technically means, guys, I want to download this code from the bucket and store it back in my system, right? So whenever you want to give a bucket, from which bucket you want to download, right? So let me quickly tell it. I am doing a restore here. So this is actually a restore. I am doing it over here. I am restoring all the values of the code. So restore के लिए again I am importing all the libraries, guys. Why? Because I'll store all the code in a different files over here. So Moto 3 I'm importing, and again I'm importing OS module over here, maybe OS module as well. Maybe from sorry, this will become markdown or delete it. Maybe from config I want to import all the values which are stored inside it. Now again, same time S3 variable I'm creating inside is Boto 3. I'm selecting this is the client. So I'm Boto 3, this is the client. The client I want to use it is S3 client. Right. Again, I want to retrieve all the backup names also. So here either I can run all the list backup function, whatever list objects functions. So whatever is stored inside my file, I can list it. But I don't want to list it. Instead, I want to take a name here, which folder you want a backup. So backup underscore name is just a variable name, and I'm taking the input here. So input function. I'm telling input function, what do you want? So I'm telling here enter backup folder. Just a name of the backup, I'm creating it over here, right? So whenever I run this, it will take the input name. So I can give any of the folder backup name which I want to restore, right? So I'm telling here maybe ls. LW, I'm just giving a folder name. By chance, this is not present, but I'm giving a name here. So better name, I can do it later on as well here. So now whatever there is been stored. So first thing what I will do is I'll list all the buckets. So S3, there is an option called list objects. List directory bucket objects v2. I want to see all the objects. From where? Inside the bucket. And this is my bucket name, bucket underscore name, right? And I can tell the prefix also here. The prefix is maybe backup अंडरस्कोर नेम, इस नाम से उनका प्रीफिक्स होता है। इसको स्टोर कर लेते हैं एक वेरिएबल में, मे बी रिस्पॉन्स, रिस्पॉन्स नाम का एक वेरिएबल बना के, right? So I can run this code, it will go and create it over here. Now after this code has been, response has been received, I can tell one more thing. OS do one thing now, OS module, inside OS library there is an option called make directory. OS make directories. Which directory I have to create? Maybe I want to create a restore folder. So inside restore folder, this should be present. इसका मतलब exist, okay should be true. This folder should exist in my system. Now once this is exist, do one thing for all the items inside the inside the response, and here I am getting the values. So inside the response, whatever values we have inside the contents, you know, where it is response. Uh, Maybe I can run this code. I'm running this code. So whatever it is being, actually they're talking about invalid parameters. So एक काम करते हैं, यहाँ पे एक बार इसको रन करते हैं। सॉरी, बोटो 3 नाम से लिस्ट करते हैं बैकअप। सो इस बैकअप में, ये बैकअप का नाम है, हम एक बैकअप नेम कॉपी कर लेते हैं यहाँ से जो हमने किया था, और इस बैकअप नेम में हम यहाँ पे एंटर कर देते हैं और रिस्पॉन्स में चेक करते हैं। पैरामीटर वैलिड फेल बकेट, अननोन पैरामीटर जोन बकेट मस्ट बी बकेट। सो बकेट हमने स्टोर तो किया था, 1 सेकेंड। बकेट बकेट अंडरस्कोर नेम में ही तो स्टोर हुआ है। आई थिंक दिस बी इज कैपिटल, रन इट नाउ। हाँ, दिस बी वॉज कैपिटल। सो जो भी वैल्यूज हमने यहाँ पे स्टोर की है, इन वैल्यूज को हम प्रिंट कर लेते हैं। तो प्रिंट करने के बाद रिस्पॉन्स में जो भी वैल्यू आई है, मे बी जेसन वैल्यू आएंगी, इसके अंदर कंटेंट नाम से वेरिएबल है। तो हमें रिस्पॉन्स डॉट गेट, हम ये क्या कर रहे हैं, हम यहाँ पे जो भी रिस्पॉन्स आ रहा है उस पे ऊपर फॉर लूप लगा रहे हैं। किसके ऊपर? कंटेंट्स नाम से बना रहे हैं। कंटेंट जो भी है इस फोल्डर में, जैसे स्ट्रिंग प्रिंट होगा कंटेंट्स, और ये एक एम्प्टी लिस्ट भी बना देते हैं यहाँ पे, just empty list for the file for now I'll tell file name, my file name is equal to, for example, item. I have an option called key. Here inside this there is an option called key. So this key will help us technically to retrieve the value. So item, whatever items they have, in with the help of their key, do one thing, split the value, the split function, and split it with the forward slash, right? And I'm telling here -1, which means I want it to be split. So maximum parameters failed technically, parameter validation failed, bucket का parameter validation failed, ये B कैपिटल है। स्टोरेज, अभी तो यहाँ पे स्प्लिट कर दिया है इसको इसने, तो हमने पूरा कोड क्रिएट नहीं किया है। अब इसके अंदर हम एक कंडीशन लगा देते हैं, इफ द फाइल नेम इज एग्जैक्टली इक्वल टू, फॉर एग्जांपल अगर ये ऑलरेडी फाइल नेम है, तो अगर जो भी फाइल का नेम है, मे बी उसको एक वेरिएबल बना दे डेस्टिनेशन, राइट? तो ओएस मॉड्यूल के अंदर पाथ के अंदर देयर इज अ फंक्शन कॉल्ड जॉइन फंक्शन. This function will help us to join something over here. What they will join? Restore folder and the file name. That's it. Right. Now, after this, do one thing, download the entire content inside the folder. So I'm telling here technically to download. So inside this, there is one option called S3. इसी code में लिखेंगे if condition के अंदर. So S3, do one thing, download the file. There is option called download file, and download the file present in bucket. This is the bucket name, and all the items we have, item का जो key है, उसको रिट्रीव कर रहे हैं हम लोग, right? Store all, download all the value, and where to download? Inside the destination. That's it. And after doing this, print maybe file name. So file name variable ही था ना, हमने या file name बनाया था? File name variable, I'm telling file name, do store this file name and whatever file you have it, tell them restore. That's it. After doing this, we can tell, maybe we can print restore completed. So restore completed. So what happened? You can see in my documents restore folder. Right now there is nothing here. This folder is already present here. Right. So it's empty right now, but it's not restored because we have not given a valid name. After some time, you can give a better valid name and they will restore all the files inside it. So इस restore में यहाँ पे हमारे पास store हो जाएंगी. Let me quickly go and run one more better time. So अब bucket का proper name mention करते हैं. This is the bucket, right? And this bucket, what I want is to run the entire code here. So Boto 3, OS library, all the library backup folder name. This is the backup folder name. I have passed it, so right. So maybe full name also you can give it, or otherwise half name also you can give it, right? So it's nothing big deal. Your choice. You want to give it. So let me give it a better full name, maybe till 2024. So this is the backup. I want to create it over here. Enter and tell the response, fetch the response, and print the response. Right. After this, I want to tell this, if whatever is being stored, store all the values inside a restore folder. They're not restoring it here, maybe somewhere else. Refresh it. Right now they are not restoring no this backup, but after some time you will see all the values will be restored over there in my case. So in this case, inside the backup folder there's nothing. That is why there's nodes.txt, but they will restore it after some time. They're not downloading here. They'll restore it for us if we want to do it in this case. So just do one thing, guys. Till here, let's go quickly for a kind of a 2 to 5 minutes break, and then when guys we go and make all the entire part, club it together. So let's go for a quick 5 minutes break of just for a refreshment break, and after 5 minutes we'll cover back and continue with this code. By the time, I'm just sharing this code here, so guys can take a build your own code of the same. To make this little bit more easy, let me do one thing, right? So inside this bucket, I'm removing this response block. Let me merge it into one single cell. So I'm selecting from here till here and shift M, all the code is merged. So I don't need to print the response also here. So I'm removing this part as well. Scroll it, and this is your restore code, and this is your list backup code. So for your convenience, I'm just pasting my list backup code here in the left side window. Maybe one more notepad file I'm creating on the right side here. So one second, guys. So let me make it a little bit bigger. So in this code, I'll just add my restore code. So just we go for a quick 5 minutes break here, and then we continue back. So just a quick refreshment break for 5 minutes here. So quickly make sure you guys build this code here, and then we come back again and build the another code over here. Okay, so let's continue back, guys. So we created this code of restore. So this entire code of restore we created here. And now this is the entire backup file name. Let me copy this name from here and let me give it to backup restore. Let me cross check. Let me enter it name here, backup folder. This is my folder. Enter. They're telling me restore completed. So as soon as they told me restore completed, so you can see they should store in the restore folder, but somewhere other folder, maybe backup folder, they stored it. Somewhere else they stored it here, but where they are storing, let me cross check one more time. Let me check the config folder one more time. So config file, they will tell me where it is storing. So it is restore. Somewhere in my folders, in my directory, they are storing it in the restore folder. I can search it here quickly. Restore. So if I click here, enter, the technically this is opening. But in my files only they are storing it. But I can give the complete path also here. Nothing big deal. So I can give a complete path here. So in this restore folder, they will go and restore it. So this I just want to come merge it back in this, and this is the code. So now coming back to my Jupyter notebook. So technically they will store it, guys, somewhere or the other. I can find it in this folder somewhere. So I can search for this name in my system. It's not visible here, but let me cross check where they are storing restore underscore folder. This is the, so actually this is not restore underscore folder. In my config file, I have given it as a, so key name should be proper, is restore. The same folder and the file name. So they'll download the file inside the bucket name and the key, they will retrieve it and they will give it over here. So looks fine. They'll go and check it. Otherwise, let me cross check one more time. If something is wrong, I can check it here. So Bodo 3 imported, OS library imported, config library imported, and the backup name, we have entered the backup name. And this list object, they should also list the object here. So this make directories is not working exactly. Restore folder exists equal to, okay, it's true. So I think that is why this is getting conflict. Let me do one more time. Refresh it. Nothing is stored. I will delete it one more time. Let me try to run it. So backup, enter backup folder actually. So it is restore. Sorry, not backup file name we have to give it. So this is the folder. Copy and paste it. Enter it. Restore complete. So as soon as the restore complete, they created a new folder called restore. And inside this, they are not giving a backup here. So this while loop is the error. Somewhere this error might be over here. So if the file name is in the destination of OSI restore folder and the file name. So this looks fine to me. Might be some bug. Maybe I can fix it later on, guys. So restored. So actually this condition is not satisfying here. I should print restored also, not restoring here. So some bug inside this restore, we can fix it in our case. So let me cross check one more time. So inside the download file, I'm telling bucket name. But before this, let me cross check for loop. So for loop for all the items inside the response, I want to get the contents. So actually content hai ya contents hai, that also we have to check it. So I think it is contents. Multiple file hai, to contents hoga. So that might be one of the reason. Let me cross check one more time. So I think this is the reason. Sorry, enter. Now they're giving the file name is not defined. So they're telling me file name here. So file name should come from the key. So this key might be file name. So inside item, there is a key, might be key is written in small letters. Let me cross check one more time. Enter. So key, they're talking about key error. Key error. I paste the backup here. So again, same error coming. File name, print file name restored. So file name, this is used here. So this is actually giving the error, guys. So key I want to split it with forward slash. एक बार quickly जो response आ रहा है उसको भी एक बार check कर लेते हैं. तो let me do one thing. Let me run this quickly, this cell, and let me print the response also here. Print response. This is not our error. Actually इसमें कुछ key है. Key is capital letter and it is contents. Yes, it is content. It is not content here. So inside this is the key name. So key name तो यहाँ पे print कर रहा है. उसको split कर रहे हैं हम लोग forward slash से. And file name is not defined. Why it is giving me here? File name already is coming from here. Maybe एक बार print भी करा लेते हैं इसको file name. So what name is coming? So I'm just troubleshooting here quickly in case if something is wrong. So I'm checking. So nodes.txt is correct. Somewhere guys typing mistake. Somewhere or the other. So file name os.point restore file. If this condition is correct, it will print restored. Let me run this block of code. So piece by piece, I'm checking it here. So file, so spelling mistake guys, technically we did. So I know it, it is not FIL, FILE. That was a mistake, we did it here. So troubleshoot and they give me here now. Now this code will run. So let me delete this, all the piece by piece which I did it. Now this code will be working. So entire code, wherever there was a mistake, we fixed it using some by troubleshooting it, and now we just enter it and they will tell, see nodes.txt restored, node.txt restored. Now you can see inside your backup folder, automatically all the nodes which we had is being restored here. So technically I did a backup of the restore, right? So this is one very interesting thing, just want to tell you over here. Right, and good part is all the code we are writing it here. So maybe this is for creating for upload file. So इसको हम upload वाला folder दे देते हैं. Just a mark, I'm giving a mark you so that it does not get confused later on. Maybe upload. This is upload. So if you want to upload something, just tell and upload it over there. Right. So whatever you have it in your backup folder, it will get go and uploaded it over there. This is a list backup. This is restore backup. One more thing guys, I want to do it here. Maybe multiple backups we have it. So you want to delete older backups also, so we can delete the backups as well. So maybe let me mark it as delete uh, entire backup folder from S3. So I want to delete all the backups from S3. So in this case, I'm going to again import the library called Boto3. I'll be writing it in a different files guys, so that is why I'm using it here. So all the codes I'm writing all importing all the libraries here, because later on I'll create a different files of it, and from that one file I'll create one main file, and from a main file I'll import all the functions which I'll create it of this here. So right now I'm not creating any functions of it, later on I'll create it, but I'm not importing it right now. So example, from config, the same way I'm importing config, likewise I will be importing all the code over here later on. So importing star. So all the libraries, and inside S3 I will tell S3 my Boto3 client, right? Inside Boto3 I am telling client, my client is S3. So double inverted commas S3. So again S3 code. Now I want to delete the old backup. So deleting backup, so I'll tell a backup, just a name backup, not name, just a backup name. I'm asking here input, input function input, and I'm telling here backup folder. That's it. So this will take our input, and whatever response variable I'm creating it here. So first S3 will list all the buckets, all the objects inside it. So objects version 2 I'm going to use it here. So I'll tell list all the objects inside the bucket. So what is the bucket? So bucket is stored inside, the name of the bucket is stored inside the bucket name variable. And what is the key of it? So I'm telling key of the bucket were all the items inside it. item inside the key. तो all values are technically stored in the key variable जो हमने अभी troubleshoot किया था. Same way we can check it here also. So I'm telling key, this is what where it is getting stored. So all the responses of the user is coming from here. So whatever it is, technically they will ask for all the backup, then they will delete it all the objects from here. So but right now this is not a key we want to give it, we are listing actually. So we don't want the name right now to be given. So we can add one more thing here, prefix as a variable. So prefix सारे folder का नाम backup नाम से है, BACK UP up. So let me cross check one more time in my S3 bucket. So B is backup. So of my folder, sorry, not S3, is backup. So no, if any mistakes of it, we'll troubleshoot it later on. So all the response, they will retrieve it. Now after it's listing all the objects inside it, I will run a for loop for all the items inside the response. So whatever response they were, I want to get. So get option, I'm using it get function. And inside this, I want to retrieve the contents. contents. आप चाहो तो इसको print करके भी देख सकते हो. Quickly, I'm showing you how we can do it. So let me print response. Right. So backup folder का name हमें देना होगा. But before this, let me add one cell below where I will write this code. So run it. So asking me for a backup folder. So I'm telling the backup folder is this one. So enter the name, enter. So they have retrieved all the items inside it. अब इस items में से जो भी ये contents है, इस contents का हमें एक एक करके सारे contents को निकालना है. इस contents को निकालेंगे, फिर उस contents को इस key से technically fetch करेंगे और we will just delete the content. To delete the content inside S3 there is an option called delete. And I want to delete the object. So there's a function called delete object. Now in this object, we have to tell two things. What is your bucket? So my bucket name is stored in a bucket underscore name variable, right? And what is your key? किसको delete करना है? तो my key is stored, ये key नाम के variable में इस फाइल के सारी information stored होती है. So I'm telling key do one thing, all the items inside it. So item inside the key. So key is just a list. So not contents, it is just a key. So copy this key and paste it as it is. Guys, I have not given it. They replied in the form of JSON. तो हमें JSON से reply कर रहे हैं. JSON से value को fetch कर रहे हैं. And I will print here. After this inside for loop only, I will print all the item, right? And their key name again, and they are deleted. Just I'm printing a string here. Deleted. That's it. Or well, print one more thing, backup removed. Right. So I run this again. So what will happen? They will ask me for the name. So ये जो name हमने already response में दे रखा है, ये backup जो था, ये backup remove हो जाएगा. As soon as you see this backup happened at 5:26. So ये 5:26 वाला backup यहाँ से delete हो जाएगा. See now, as soon as I run this, they're telling backup removed. Now I see the bucket, refresh it. See there is no backup of this particular time is inside my folder. So entire backup deleted in my case, right? Very interesting part. So entire backup deleted here, guys. Now let me merge all the cells. So we select it from here. So control shift, you guys can select it, press it, and control shift, we press and select it till here. So every items will be selected in this within this range, and I can press shift M, all the items will be merged. So this deletes it'll delete entire backup. But most of the time, guys, you don't want to delete one backup or here. You want to delete the past three backups if you want to delete. So multiple backups you want to delete technically, or you want to delete all the older backups happening over there in time. So you can add some code, or maybe automatically you want to get cleanup. So I can tell here automatic clean backup. Maybe last three कर देंगे इसको, last three backup, right? So it will automatic clean all the last three backups. So this again, I can tell I want a response, whatever response variable. Inside this, I'm retrieving a S3. I'll do one thing, list objects v2. This is the function we are going to use it inside the bucket. What is the bucket name? It is the bucket underscore name. So this is the response we want it to be stored. And here I'm setting up one folder. So let me add multiple cells below so that I can move it a little bit up. So here I'm telling, in this case, I want this bucket name is retrieved. And after this, it will print it तो ये सारे buckets का नाम हमें mention कर देगा. Here I'm telling folders. Inside this folders, I'm setting this value. So I'm telling set function. Now, for all the items inside the response, in the response, I'm using a get function. And there is some response here. Maybe इसको print कर लेते हैं quickly. Printed inside the contents, where it is, where is the contents, there, here it is, context type, retry items, content. So I want to retrieve all the contents from here. So inside this contents, I want to store the entire contents in an empty list. After this, I'll tell all the folders, do one thing, add the items over there. So using add function, I'm telling all the item with their key name I want to add it. So this is the key, I want to add it over here. So I'm telling here double inverted commas key in this case, right? And here I can type split function. So split will split all the values क्योंकि ये values यहाँ पे जो key है ये फॉरवर्ड स्लैश से सेपरेटेड है. ये फोल्डर का नाम है, ये फाइल का नाम है. जब हम स्प्लिट फंक्शन का यूज कर रहे हैं, इसको स्प्लिट कर देना किस वैल्यू के साथ, फॉरवर्ड वैल्यू के साथ, एंड स्टोर इट दिस वैल्यू एट अ वन पोजिशन, 0 पोजिशन पे स्टोर कर देना. That's it guys. So entire for loop retrieved. Now all the folders I will update the value. Folders, do one thing. What is the folders? folders, folders, do one thing, store all the values in a sorted format. So sorted format क्योंकि टाइम से कर रहे हैं तो लास्ट 3 बैकअप मतलब हम प्रीवियस बैकअप को डिलीट कर रहे हैं तो उसमें हम डिलीट कर सकते हैं. तो इनसाइड वी कैन राइट अ कंडीशन, जो लेटेस्ट है उसको अभी रहने दो, जो करंट टाइम का है, जो ओल्डर है उसको हमें डिलीट करना है, राइट. सो क्लीन लास्ट 3 बैकअप, जो अभी का करंट बैकअप है उसको रहने देना है. सो राइट, सो हम उसको सॉर्ट कर रहे हैं बिकॉज वी आर स्टोरिंग इन अ सॉर्टेड फॉर्मेट. किसको, सारे फोल्डर्स को हम यहाँ पे सॉर्ट कर रहे हैं. नाउ आफ्टर सॉर्टिंग वी कैन राइट अ कंडीशन हियर, राइट. इफ द लेंथ ऑफ द फोल्डर मतलब ऑल द वैल्यूज विच आर स्टोर्ड इज ग्रेटर देन 3, अगर 3 से ज्यादा है तभी ये कंडीशन रन करना, अदरवाइज डोंट रन दिस कंडीशन. 3 से ज्यादा है तो स्ट्रिंग को रिवर्स कर देंगे. तो जो ओल्ड है हमारे फोल्डर्स के अंदर, इसको हम रिवर्स कर देते हैं. रिवर्स स्ट्रिंग गाइस स्टार्ट फ्रॉम ऑल द वैल्यूज एंड -3. -3 टेक्निकली मीन्स रिवर्स फ्रॉम द लास्ट 3 वैल्यूज ओवर हियर, राइट. अगर 3 है तो इसमें से लास्ट 3 हम निकालेंगे. और और यहाँ पे फॉर लूप लगा देंगे फॉर ऑल द वैल्यूज इनसाइड द फोल्डर इज इन ओल्ड, जो ओल्ड वेरिएबल के अंदर रिप्रेजेंट है तब उसको हम डिलीट करेंगे. तो एक रिस्पॉन्स वेरिएबल बना देते हैं जो हमें रिस्पॉन्स आएगा. इनसाइड रिस्पॉन्स आई विल टेल S3 do one thing, list the bucket. So as list function we are doing it here. So list objects v2, where technically same code we are writing it multiple times. So list object v2, ये लिस्ट करने के बाद हम यहाँ पे इसको क्विकली बकेट का नेम और यहाँ पे हम प्रीफिक्स लगा देंगे. तो प्रीफिक्स हमारा फोल्डर है, ये हम इसको कॉपी करते हैं यहाँ से और यहाँ पे हम इसको ऐड कर देंगे. सो बकेट नेम इज बकेट अंडरस्कोर नेम और हमारा जो प्रीफिक्स है वो इज द प्रीफिक्स वन. सो लेट मी इंडेंट इट प्रॉपर्ली. Enter here. It's not backup, it is folder. That's it. Now After this, do one thing. इसको यहाँ close कर लेते हैं, इसको delete कर देते हैं. Now, after this for loop run, I want all the content, all the objects to be deleted. So एक for loop के अंदर एक और for loop लगा रहे हैं हम लोग, right? So for all the file present in the response, right? तो पहले इसका content get कर लेंगे. तो get the content जो भी हमने यहाँ पे लिखा था अभी same code. So get the content same line. So this same line I'm copying it from here. अब हम इसको delete कर देंगे बस. यहाँ पे अभी हम list कर रहे थे बार बार, अब हम इसको list नहीं करेंगे. Same code को we will just tell S3 do one thing, delete the bucket, or not bucket, delete the object. So there's an option called delete the object. So which object you want to delete? So bucket, and इसका हम key mention कर देते हैं. Bucket name is this one. Just enter it, and I will tell key is uh, my key which I want to delete is technically file. So all the file which is present inside the key variable. That's that's it, guys. This is done. After this, just print also for me. So print folder and value whatever is there is deleted. This is the entire block of code if condition. Else also we have to write print no old backup found. That's it. So right now there are only one backup, so there is no old backup found. So else block of code will run. So technically, guys, what we did here, we converted this entire code and created the entire code. So this entire program created. Now in this case, I want to upload something in the backup folder. तो इस function को हम बना सकते हैं. Maybe I copy this code, entire code. I'll select this entire block of code inside it और इसको हम tab key से indent कर देंगे, right? And here I will create a function. So with the help of def keyword, I'll create a function, maybe backup underscore file. So if this function run up, this function will print something like this for us. So back to this function created. Expected block of code कहीं ना कहीं हमने mistake कर दी. Sorry, function में we have not given parenthesis. So import star from is not allowed inside the module level. तो हम यहाँ पे इसको ये remove कर देंगे. Control Z and remove this from here. Right. So completed, this project is completed. Import it on the top. Maybe this all import also we can do it on the top. Just I want to show quickly here one different perspective. So this entire code I'm importing it on the top. Now I run this, import OS unindented. तो sorry, date time भी हमने import नहीं किया. Sorry, Control Z, pass it, and pass it here. Run it. This is been done, completed. So हमारा एक फंक्शन बन चुका है जो हमें अपलोड करने के लिए हेल्प करेगा यहाँ पे. तो इसमें हमने जो बैकअप फाइल बनाई है, यहाँ पे जो बैकअप नाम से फाइल बनाई है, we don't created any file here, but let me do one thing. Let me open this file, open in terminal. I will create one file here. The file name I will give it as maybe notepad backup.py. Enter. Yes, this is well. So inside this entire block of code, save it, Control S. This code saved. I'm closing all the notebooks. I don't want to save any other thing. Let me close all the files. So to make it simple, I close all the entire files inside the notebook. तो बैकअप वाला हमारा क्रिएटेड हो चुका है. अब एक और बना सकते हैं क्विकली, लिस्ट बैकअप. तो कॉपी करते हैं इसको. तो मे बी नोटपैड, नो दिस फंक्शन इज नॉट क्रिएटेड, तो इसको हम एक फंक्शन में कन्वर्ट कर देंगे. सो कॉपी टैब इट, मे बी इसको हम नाम दे देते हैं लिस्ट बैकअप. दिस इज अ लिस्ट बैकअप फंक्शन. रन इट, दिस बैकअप इज डन. सो इसको कॉपी कर लेते हैं क्विकली एंड वी विल लिस्ट notepad, maybe list underscore backup.py. Just a file name I'm creating it. Save it, Control S and close it. That's it. So this file has been created. Now in this case, this is my Boto3 client from here to here. So what this is doing, this function is technically restoring. So I'm creating a function here called restore. So df keyword restore function. Run it. This is also fine. So copy this code, enter it into one file, restore.py. Right. So all the values I'm restoring it over here in this case. Just a restore file, restoring the folder in our case here. Right. Now I'm restoring it here. दिस रिस्टोर फोल्डर नाम से हमने जो बनाया था ये हमने कर लिया इसको भी हम फंक्शन में कन्वर्ट कर लेते हैं क्विकली जस्ट टू मेक इट वन सिंगल वर्किंग so entire menu program I want to create it guys of the same so just nothing big deal so I'm telling def keyword I'm creating here delete entire backup folder from s3 तो delete नाम से बना दे delete underscore backup underscore folder राइट सो दिस डिलीट बैकअप फोल्डर आई एम क्रिएटिंग इट ओवर हियर जैसे फंक्शन का नाम है ये सारे फंक्शन को हम यहाँ से रिट्रीव कर देते हैं तो डिलीट नोटपैड डिलीट क्या नाम से बनाया हमने फंक्शन डिलीट बैकअप फोल्डर डिलीट अंडरस्कोर बैकअप फोल्डर maybe extension.py always give extension.py because it is a python code save it and just close it from here this also done last part this इसको हम merge कर लेते हैं quickly this entire code in this so I selected from here till the last and shift M merge it. Now inside this also guys we need to import all this library so I'm importing this from here and this entire block of code I'm giving a space and enter. Before this let me add this part and the function name so def so clean or maybe delete last three delete underscore 3 underscore backup just a name of function alright so all the functions created अब आप चाहो तो इस सिंगल कोड को एक सिंगल फाइल में एज अ फंक्शन मेनू बेस इफ एल्स कंडीशन से रन कर सकते हो बट आई डोंट वांट टू डू द सेम वे instead what I want is I'll write one more code which will be my main code here right so one more code I'm writing here in this file so I'm importing in this case I'm not importing anything so I can import guys even though import I can import now maybe backup which I created here this code this file backup.py I'm importing this file here also I'm importing all the files which I created here which is config so I want to import config also I can import all the files from here right so your choice wherever you want it you guys can import it I am importing all the functions so delete backup folder delete maybe restore नाम से बनाया था हमने restore second maybe list backup तो import list backup I'm also importing other libraries here not libraries these are not libraries guys config हो गया delete list हो गया delete backup folder और last three backup को भी delete करने का हमने बनाया तो था अभी where it is exactly delete backup folder अच्छा हमने नहीं बनाया उसका हम वो भी बना देंगे एक फाइल so delete backup folder so 4 files created right now let me cross check 1 2 3 4 so 4 files created now this function we created delete 3 backup इस फाइल से भी हम नाम बना देंगे तो इसका भी हम notepad delete 3 backup but extension should be .py enter paste it so paste this entire code from here copy it and paste it save it control S this is saved so this code I am importing it here also import delete 3 backup. So all this I'm importing it here, and then I'll write my while loop. So while true, I'm telling run continuously, and here it will print something for me. So whatever you want to print it, we can print it over here. Right? So I'm printing maybe just a characters I'm entering, maybe backslash n new line, right? Maybe equal to I'm printing it here. So this will come up on a new line, just like a kind of a continuous form. I cannot run it right now because if I run it, because this entire code will not be running here. So I'll tell here AWS cloud backup system, just print, and one more line I'm printing it here, then I'll print my menu. So I'll print this all line here. Maybe this will come up in the same line, so I'm adding it in the backslash n escape sequence. It will print it continuously over here. Right? So again, this looks just a kind of a separator. I'm adding it here, not a little bit bigger, so smaller one. And multiple separators here. Now after this, I will take the print if you want print. I will print one if you want to backup files. Right, so it will be print one here. So if you want press one, it will print one for backup file. Maybe I can write multi-line comments also, but I'm not writing it here just to quickly check it. Maybe second one to restore file. So I'm telling here restore files. The third one, if you want to press 3, you can go and maybe list backup. So इसको maybe list backup की वजह से हम show history कर देते हैं इसको better show history नाम से. Just a name I'm giving it, nothing big deal. So 4 will be delete backup. Right? So fourth option I'm giving it here, just a fourth option, delete backup. Delete backup, that's it. And one more option, last option, fifth option, delete 3 backups. Delete last 3 backup. That's it. Now I'll write my condition. I'll take a choice here from the user. So choice is integer. I can declare it, or maybe input. Let me go for string only. By chance, guys, by default, input tag take all the values in the form of string integer. So enter the choice. Enter the choice. That's it. They will take an input, and if the choice is greater than or if the choice is equal to 1, what you want? You want the AWS file to be backup. So inside this, the function which we created here was backup underscore file, right? So I'll tell do one thing inside backup file, राइट इन दिस फाइल गाइस. तो टेक्निकली हम फंक्शन का नाम इस फाइल में यहाँ पे पास कर सकते हैं, बट हम इसको यहाँ से कॉल नहीं करेंगे, हम इसको कॉल करेंगे इसके फाइल के नाम से. तो इस फाइल के अंदर एक फंक्शन है बैकअप अंडरस्कोर फाइल नाम से. इस फंक्शन को रन करना है यहाँ पे. एल इफ चॉइस अगर हो 2, इफ द चॉइस इज 2, सो एज पास इट एज स्ट्रिंग, या फिर हम इसको इंटीजर भी कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं यहाँ पे. I'm telling this choice is 2. तो whatever we have created a file, फाइल का नाम क्या किया था हमने यहाँ पे, सेकेंड चॉइस हमारे लिस्ट बैकअप है, तो लिस्ट नाम से ही किया था, लिस्ट अंडरस्कोर बैकअप. तो इफ द ऑप्शन इज टू, डू वन थिंग, लिस्ट बैकअप नाम से एक फाइल है, उसके अंदर लिस्ट बैकअप नाम से एक फंक्शन है, इस फंक्शन को रन कर देना. एल इफ चॉइस इज इक्वल टू 3, डू वन थिंग, थर्ड ऑप्शन पे क्या है, शो हिस्ट्री. तो शो हिस्ट्री के लिए हमने क्या बनाया था, लिस्ट बैकअप बनाया था. तो एक्चुअली वी कैन गिव लिस्ट बैकअप. सो शो हिस्ट्री को हम बेटर नाम देते हैं लिस्ट बैकअप. राइट, सो इन दिस केस आई एम गोइंग फॉर लिस्ट, सॉरी नॉट शो हिस्ट्री, डिलीट बैकअप, लिस्ट बैकअप. सेकंड हमारा रिस्टोर था, राइट. हम एक्चुअली सेकंड वाला हमने इसको दे दिया, तो इसको हम 3 कर देते हैं, इसको 2 कर देते हैं. तो 3 इज लिस्ट बैकअप, फोर्थ सेकंड वन इज रिस्टोर फाइल. तो रिस्टोर फाइल अगर होता है तो हमने क्या नाम से फंक्शन बनाया था, restore नाम से। तो in this case I will tell restore, inside the restore there is a function called restore, इसको रन कर देना। That's it guys, just passing the functions, nothing big deal. If the choice is equal to 4, even though you can write up and down sequence also, nothing big deal. 1 3 2 4, whatever you want it, you can pass it here. So wherever the condition match, it will go and done it. Delete backup, तो हमने यहाँ पे delete backup folder ये नाम से बनाया, तो delete backup folder में इसमें delete नाम से function होगा, इसी function को import कर देंगे। elif choice अगर 5 होती है तो हम यहाँ पे delete 3 backups, इसमें से delete 3 backup नाम का folder है, इसको रन कर देना। या फिर एक और दे देते हैं, elif choice is equal to 6, हम यहाँ पे exit का दे देंगे क्विकली। तो copy this code line here and this, if somebody enters 6, exit, right? So if choice is 6, do one thing, break the loop। else if या else condition लगा देंगे, else print maybe \n, न्यू लाइन में प्रिंट कर देंगे, enter valid option from 1 to 6, right? That's it guys. So entire code, I'm just importing both the code here and I'm just merging the cells, so shift M to merge it. Now this entire code has been created. So what is happening right now, once I save this code inside my terminal over in the same folder, so in the same folder I will save the code inside main.py. So one module will go and call all the different modules. So save it, quickly Control S, and I run it. To run it, I can run it Python main.py. Enter. See, all the files will be rated. So I want to do list backup, 3 options. See, so right now they listed it here. This is the backup, right? So if I want to do a backup here, so I want to add, I want to do one more folder. I'm adding it here in the inside this. So maybe inside my backup folder, I'm adding multiple files here. Notes.py, maybe one text document, maybe hi.txt, maybe one more, maybe bitmap image, maybe img.bmp. So multiple things I'm doing backup. So I'm telling one, so they're doing a backup. So once this is done, backup history, backup created. I'm telling them to again, they have uploaded all the 3 objects. Hi, img, notes, all the 3 objects. One more backup created, all the backups created. See, again new backup created. इस टाइम backup का नाम कुछ और होगा जो भी हमने access किया था. तो one more backup created, one more backup created. So 4-5 backups I have added in my Google, in my S3 bucket. Save it. You can see 3-4 backups added here. Now, good part about this is I don't want this to delete the older 3 backups. So I press 5. So there's some error inside this code. Otherwise, we can fix it. This error. So let's go and fix the error. So this error, delete last 3 folders. They're telling me inside uh, delete the entire backup folder. No, I have to delete the last 3. So clean automatic last 3. They are telling me this code which we are passing it. Actually, this code is not properly copied here, I think. But bucket underscore name, यहाँ पे कुछ गड़बड़ है हमारे केस में, तो इसको हम यहाँ पे एक लाइन में पास किया है. So प्रिंट हटा देते हैं रिस्पॉन्स को, हमें प्रिंट नहीं करना है, तो हो सकता है कुछ दिक्कत करे, तो एक बार इसको अपडेट कर देते हैं कोड को. Right. Otherwise, this is what bucket का spelling सही है, bucket underscore name. So copy this code and update this code inside this folder. So this error happened, तो ये breakdown हो गया है. Otherwise, it will work fine. So let me do one thing. Let me update the file. So हमारे delete 3 backups. So all the code inside this file removed, saved it. Now let me run the main file again. So Python main.py. So I'm telling 5, delete the backup. So again, S3 response delete 3 backup, this is causing the error. तो इसमें एक बार हम टेस्ट कर लेते हैं इसको क्विकली, इस फंक्शन को, राइट इस फंक्शन को कॉल भी कर लेते हैं यहाँ पे, delete 3 backup. सो दे आर टेलिंग मी फाइल यहाँ पे कुछ तो गड़बड़ है, की में फाइल में कहाँ पे हमने गड़बड़ की है, वी कैन फिक्स इट हियर समवेयर हियर. तो एक की में फाइल्स होना चाहिए, या हमने फाइल होना चाहिए, 1 मिनट. सो इसकी की हमें रिट्रीव करनी है. तो आई थिंक ओल्ड बैकअप में यहाँ पे कुछ गड़बड़ है, एक मिनट चेक कर लेते हैं क्विकली. व्हाट आई कैन सी इज फाइल का नेम, ये हमने पैरेंथेसिस पास कर दिया, इट्स अ की गाइस, वन थिंग व्हिच आई थिंक हियर इज दिस वन. तो कॉपी दिस and update this here, save it and just run it again. So what is the error they are giving me? Delete 3 backup, line 33 in the module delete underscore 3 backup, line 33. तो एक बार इसको edit, sorry view में show line number 33. ये import क्यों हो रहा है यहाँ पे, तो ये import की वजह से दिक्कत दे रहा है. Save it and run it again. So you can see if I press 5, so again delete 3 backup, line number 29, print folder deleted. So line number 29 is looks guys and looks nice. सॉरी ये इसके अंदर क्यों रन कर दिया हमने फॉर लूप में, बार बार इसको बाहर रन करेंगे. तो इसको यहाँ से कॉपी, डिलीट, सेव इट and run it. So every time it's good practice to test it. So press 5, enter. Name S3 is not defined here. Response equal to S3. सॉरी हमने इसको यहाँ पे S3 को डिफाइन ही नहीं किया है. सो इसको कॉपी करना पड़ेगा और यहाँ पे हमें एंटर करना होगा S3. Now this is the fine. So I quickly did this function. Now run this again and you see delete 5, enter. So file key name error. So file is not defined. Did you mean file filter? No, I said file only. 1 minute, let me cross check. So यहाँ पे हमने files दिया था क्या for loop में? Inside this, actually हमने item दिया है यहाँ पे, राइट तो इसको हम फाइल कर देंगे. तो हमने आइटम दिया और यहाँ पे हम फाइल कर दिया उसको बाय चांस. राइटिंग इन लॉजिकली इट बिकम्स द चैलेंज. सो सेव इट और रन इट अगेन. सो run this and see delete. Now it should work. So see all the 3 backups, only last 3 backups में से जो backups में retrieve रहेगा उसके अलावा और सारे files delete हो जाएंगे. So देखो as soon as I refresh only last 3 backup is remaining. तो 3 के अलावा जो भी बैकअप हो यहाँ से सारे डिलीट हो चुके हैं, राइट. कीप ओनली, एक्चुअली हमने नाम इसको गलत दे दिया, वी शुड हैव गिवन कीप 3 बैकअप. So just a name. Now entire automated system created guys. Here I want to list backup. See list all the backup, 3 backup stored. I want to delete the backup to 4th number. I said enter. So tell the folder name. So I'm deleting this backup, copy and paste it, enter. So this has been removed, backup removed. So all the files is deleted and in this case यहाँ पे ये प्रिंट क्यों हो रहा है, इसके पीछे एक रीजन है गाइस. बिकॉज इन दिस कोड वाइल टेस्टिंग पर्पस हमने इस फंक्शन में कहीं ना कहीं प्रिंट रिस्पॉन्स कर रखा है, दिख रहा है. दैट इज वाई इट इज प्रिंटिंग इट ओवर हियर. तो अदरवाइज ये बैकअप यहाँ पे रिमूव हो चुका है. आप चेक कर सकते हो 3 से लिस्ट करके, ओनली 2 बैकअप्स राइट नाउ. सो कॉपी दिस. इवन S3 बकेट को भी आप इसी तरीके से मैनेज कर सकते हो in your case. So I'm telling I want to delete the backup. This is the folder deleted. So I want to tell list backup. I have only 1 backup right now inside my folder. See, as soon as I refresh, only 1 backup. So one pure automation project we created here for entire backup of the folders, right? One more project guys we are going to see here today. Very interesting part. I want to exit. I press 6, exited. So again, scripting part, other parts, all the files we created it over here in this particular folder. So where my directory is, this is my directory. So this one project, you guys can go and apply it over here. So I'll push this code, guys, in my GitHub. You guys can get it from there. But before this, one more very interesting project I want to do here. Very interesting project. It will be a little bit. We might need more time here, but this whole project we will go and build it. Very interesting part. Entire EC2 monitoring we are going to do it. By the chance, in case if you missed this part, like older project also, it is perfectly fine, right? We will go and build everything from the scratch here. So what technically we are doing, we are building an entire EC2 health monitoring system. We are going to monitor the instance. We are going to monitor the CPU. We are going to monitor and create and generate one report of it. Right. So all the things we are going to manage it here in this project. Okay. Okay, so guys, this code I'm just pushing it on my GitHub. Just give me 1 second. So guys can get this entire project which we build it over here. Again, guys, this is a real industry project, which means technically we have built all the parts of it right from the scratch. So even in fact, guys, if you see the code of S3, which we have seen it, from managing EC2 instance, from launching the instance, from managing the storage, for creating the bucket, for pushing the object in the bucket, till the managing the backup. If you build the entire project, we can club all the pieces together and it becomes one kind of a big major project. Wherever you go for the interviews in the near future, you guys can go and tell it over there, right? But before this part ends, one very interesting project we are going to see here now. The project is more like a we have one instance, right? It's like a monitoring project, entire health monitoring we are going to do about it over there, right? So just allow us a minute. By the time I'm just keep pushing the code on my GitHub. Just give me 1 second. In case anyone missed the URL of GitHub, so my team will add this inside your description. You guys can get it from there. Otherwise, you guys can scanning this QR code from where you guys can get the project. So just give me 1 minute. I'm just logging it here to my GitHub account. Yeah, so here it is. Let me quickly share the QR of it. So you guys can quickly scan this QR code and can keep this with you. So I'm waiting here for 1 or 2 minutes. You guys can scan this QR code and keep this QR code with you. Okay, so guys, next project which we are going to build here is very interesting project. And guys, most of the companies, if you go and work in the real production environment, this kind of environment we always do, and multiple products also available in the market, which gives you a very 100% kind of a automation of this tool. So something like I have a EC2 instance, for example, and as we know guys, most of the websites or most of the servers technically in the world goes and run on the top of EC2 as a service. For example, if some company is using a server architecture over there, and this server architecture, you had EC2 instance running. So now in this instance, very, very critical part, guys, because your website, your product, whatever company's application you are running is running on the top of EC2 instance here, for example. And let's suppose this instance has some limited RAM here. Every system in the world has some RAM and CPUs over here in this case. So very interesting part and very interesting project, guys, I'm talking about here. Very, very industry ready. And if you add this kind of project in your resume, definitely it will give you a kind of a extra advantage over here. And most of the time, guys, we have a separate team for the monitoring part in the company. So it is very mission critical. They continuously 24 by 7, they works on shift and they continuously keep on monitoring the same part here. Tons of tools available in the market which can help us to achieve the same. For example, if we see here, we have one tool called maybe Prometheus, if you have heard about this particular Prometheus and Grafana. So again, a DevOps tool which helps us for monitoring purpose. One more tool called Datadog as a tool. So Datadog as a tool again retrieve the information of AWS instance and go and give it. And the project which I'm talking about, if you build it, so I'll give you an approach of this slowly. After some time, you will understand you can monitor any of the system in the world. Right? You don't need these tools also, although there are some tools already available. It's just like we are creating a small tool, kind of a small tool of our own for AWS cloud. For example, AWS cloud only here, right? I'm not talking about other example like GCP or Azure. So if you know GCP and Azure, that has a different libraries, we might have to use it. For in the world of AWS cloud, we use Boto3 as a library here. So Boto3 as a library helped us to launch something on the top of AWS clouds, right? So using this, what I want, so any of the instance you launch it on the AWS cloud, we can build our own custom tool, a kind of a custom dashboard you guys can build it, where they retrieve all the information of it. Even though, guys, this project which we build here, I build it in such a way that anyone in the world come up and just change this three things here. If you remember one which I open it here, just three things the user have to enter. Maybe I can tell it from input function or this file. Sorry, where is the config file? Let me add it in Notepad. So just three values you have to enter. What is your backup folder? What is your local folder? And what is your restore folder? And what is your bucket name? Just three values here, right? So anybody, any bucket in the world, just enter these three different values and that's it, right? Even if you know HTML, CSS and JavaScript, so you guys can create your own job. I'm not talking about this project here. So if you know HTML, CSS and JavaScript, or maybe you know MERN stack technically, so you guys can build a beautiful UI UX website of the same, right? Behind the scene, take all this information here from the user, like enter your bucket name. They have entered the bucket name. Then enter your local folder which you want to do a backup, right? Or maybe upload a file from here, right? This you can do it. And in this case, click on submit button. Behind the scene, using a API key by some put method, get method, they will go and put the object inside S3. So this project which we build here, anybody in the world want to do the backup of the bucket, want to update something in the bucket, want to restore the backup, they have to just change three different values. So very interesting project, next project which we have lined up. But I highly recommend you guys can extend this project up to the next level and can build your own backup system over here. Okay. So I think, guys, we have some guys, we have some announcements for you. So let's continue this part. So My team has some announcement here. They'll be announcing some part over here.
Good evening, everyone. Can I have a quick update? This is Preeti. I'm sure many of you all know me. The ones who don't know me, I am the program coordinator for this absolute free Python with, AWS cloud training. Jaldi say quickly in the chat box if I can know how was your experience till today. You're just on day 10. Imagine when you have 1 साल, 2 साल, 3 साल की engineering कर रहे होते हैं हम और आज आप just 10th day पे हो एक program के consistency से there are many of you all more than hundreds of students from across India who are doing this on a consistent basis. How was your experience till now? क्या कभी सोचा था कि कोई free program में ऐसा कुछ मिलेगा? Did you ever even think of? Can I quickly have it in the chat box? How was your experience? The chat is open for you now. Can I quickly have that? How was your overall experience? क्या मजा आया? क्या नया सीखा? And ये जो project चल रहा है, will it add to your portfolio? Definitely yes, to a major extent. So it's a humble request कि आप सब लोगों को, everyone who's attending me live or the ones who will be attending afterwards, I understand you have other things pipelined. Ensure that you complete this project, push it on the LinkedIn. People will not come to your place and see, oh, say ABC, आपने क्या बनाया है? But they will definitely check on LinkedIn that what have you built as a project. And I'm sure hum sab yahan hain so that we can get a good job profile, a good package. Okay, this is what we are looking for, correct? So if you want that project is the actual route, bolte na ek sahi tarika, the career path to move towards that. So first and foremost, can I have it in the chat box? How's your journey going on? How is your overall journey? What's happening around? Let me also check it out. What is your journey? It's an amazing classes. I learned more than these about many things. Superb. It was really great. Day 10 completed. Maza aa gaya, ma'am, is what Raman Kumar is saying. It's a very good session. Amazing. Nice experience. Amazing. So we should be thankful to our mentor, Gibran Ali, for making this journey so interesting for every one of you all. We started from the very basics. We understood the real power of Python and AWS Cloud. How can you club them? What level of projects can you develop? There are so many more messages coming in. Nice experience, man. Thank you for the 10 days. Awesome sessions. The sessions are amazing. Did you ever think of कि something like this can come in a free 10 days project based series? कभी सोचा था ऐसा? You love this session, never thought to get such kind of information in a free session. Wow, wow, amazing, super, mind blowing, Sergi. That's amazing. It's a new domain for you, Sakshi. Okay, okay, great. Wow, I'm so happy that all of you all out here who are attending it live, coming out of your schedule and attending it, hats off to you that you're showing your consistency since last 10 days. And I have more than 150, 200 plus students who have been attending it regularly without even a break of a day. One last request from my side, I just wanted to come and meet and actually talk to you guys that ये project जो है ना, हो सकता है आपको लग रहा है कि यूट्यूब पे फ्री है, हम बाद में कभी पढ़ लेंगे, देखेंगे कैसे पढ़ना है, बट completion of this project, pushing it on your LinkedIn, your GitHub is very important. At the same time, we would definitely be having another session. I think that's what Gibran is planning for a Monday or something, where would be having a closure for your certificates as committed. Despite it's a free training, but yes, we are entitled to give you two certificates. One is for attendance, and second is for your project. The process and everything will be coming into your WhatsApp official group itself. At the same time, we'll be sharing the QR code there. That's it from my side. I'll be handing it over to Gibran again. And thanks to all the audience for attending it live and even post that, because I see a lot of comments. I come and check myself. जो लोग लिखते हैं कि amazing session, हमने कभी नहीं सोचा था कि 10 दिन में हम इतना सब कुछ सीख लेंगे. Guys, life बहुत छोटी है. अगर जिंदगी में अपने लिए खड़ा होना चाहते हो, and if you really want an amazing technical profile, then keep learning such things from the right mentor and keep building projects. That's it from my side. Thank you so much. Over to Gibran. Thank you.
In 10 days we have achieved so much that we have received the entire from scratch. We have started from scratch and we are working upon the industry projects. So very interesting, and would like to thank everyone also for being a good audience here. and attending it continuously in it. So I got many of the students across borders as well. They're coming up and joining the session. So just 10 days, we have achieved so much lot. So imagine guys what will happen if you go for 10 days. So again, one kind of a small invitation from my side. I'd like to love everyone to see in Earth 7.0. The QR code of it, my team will just show you on the screen. You guys can go and apply for it. Okay. So just a beginning of 10 days. Imagine what else we can go and learn it in 10 months. So I can see all of your questions here. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. No worries, guys. Even though you had amazing, if you're not able to get practice it 100%, it's okay. You can practice it later on. But the main concept here is we have started working and learning upon right technical knowledge. And guys, very much thankful for all of you to attend it live. And thank you, Ronak. Thank you so much for your valuable word. Thank you everyone for your amazing love which you guys are showering in the live chat. And I'd love to see everyone in 7.0. It's just guys 10 days में हम इतना कुछ कर सकते हैं. So imagine what we can do it in next 10 months. And I and my motto are on Linux world. We talk about as a Linux world. Our motto is to make India future ready, and we are working upon on that mission only, right? And technically we want you guys to lift your skills in technical domain. So if you see what we have learned in just 10 days, आपने अपने entire college के 1 year में भी इतना नहीं practical hands on experience नहीं किया था. तो this flavor we want to give it to you. So imagine what you guys will be building in the upcoming next 10 months with us. Okay. So that's it guys for my side for the day. इस आने वाले प्रोजेक्ट को जो नेक्स्ट प्रोजेक्ट है मॉनिटरिंग वाला, इसको हम मंडे के लिए मंडे को करते हैं. इवन दो दिस प्लान ऑफ दिस ट्रेनिंग वाज टू कवर फॉर 10 days, but I additionally want it to have one more real industry project. So make it, I want you guys can quickly have a time. आप लोग उसको इस प्रोजेक्ट को प्रॉपर समझो, practice करो, and then we can start it. So instead of like closing the training today, actually it was a plan to close the training, but we don't want to close it because we'll be covering one more project here and kind of a gesture from our side, or to lift your skills technically we want to add it. Okay, so it's one more project we are adding it from our side over here. Very interesting project, and you guys can go and uh, join it on Monday. It's a very interesting project over there. Okay, so thank you guys for your amazing journey. And it's not conclude today. Let's not conclude today. सुधांशु, आज सर्टिफिकेट प्रोसेस आज नहीं पता चलेगा, और टीम विल शेयर इट ऑन मंडे. एक प्रोजेक्ट और कर लेते हैं. 10 days तो हमने किया है, एक दिन और एक्स्ट्रा कर लेते हैं. तो अगेन एक और प्रोजेक्ट आपके पोर्टफोलियो में ऐड हो जाएगा. दिस विल हेल्प यू and your resume to get shortlisted easily, and this will also help you to apply for multiple other technical job roles and domains, right? So this is what we want to have it over there. Another day, another good session, an interactive lecture. Okay, thank you so much Vipul for your amazing words. कोई बात नहीं यश, अगर आपकी कुछ क्लासेस आप बाय चांस फॉर एक्स वाई जेड रीजन आप मिस कर जाते हो, तो यू कैन वॉच द सेशन. बट जो आने वाला प्रोजेक्ट है वो कंप्लीटली इंडिपेंडेंट है. एंड इफ यू हैव दिस काइंड ऑफ अ प्रोजेक्ट इन योर रेज्यूमे, जो हम मंडे के दिन देखेंगे, इट विल गो एंड बिल्ड नेक्स्ट लेवल पार्ट ओवर हियर, right? Based on essay, yes, definitely, Hanan, Faraz, the project is really amazing here. Thank you so much. Today was our last class. No, Kirti, I'm not in a hurry to close the program. We are just want to uplift you guys. So yeah, we'll see back on Monday. Another project, very interesting project and interesting string lessons. So my motto is not just to conclude it. My motto is to teach you something so that you guys can become future ready, and this helps you. This might helps you to also get shortlisted in some of the profile of the companies. So आप जब भी अपने resume में इस type of project add करोगे, this will help you technically to shortlist yourself over there. Okay, so QR code for the is already on your screen. You guys can go and scan it over here. Okay. Any technical questions? Anybody have anything? You guys, any doubts? You guys can put it in the live chat. I'm checking the live chat here, guys. Thank you so much, Madhvi. Thank you for your valuable words, and lots of thank you everyone for your words, valuable words, guys. What you guys are showering your blessings and your love in the chat box. Thank you for it. Thank you so much, Parmita. Misbah, it's you can fill the form. My team will connect with you regarding it. It has everything inside it. It has DevOps, it has cloud, it has multi-cloud, it has DevOps, machine learning, Gen AI, all MERN stack, all those technologies already into it. Yes, yesterday's quiz result also I will update it on Monday. So on Monday, my team will give you the quiz result which you guys have applied it. Even though if you missed any of you guys have missed it, you guys can go to the portal which is lms.hash13.com, and from there my team will also share the link of it. सुधांशु सर्टिफिकेट प्रोसेस मंडे के दिन आपको शेयर हो जाएगा. So make sure you build this project. Two certificates we will be asking you guys. First is we will be issuing you. First is your training certificate. Second, I think will be intern like a project certificate. So project certificate will be given to only those who build the project. Okay, and make sure you build the same project. Share it on LinkedIn, and my team will ask you for your project over there. You guys can add something or the other inside the project as well. Okay, so that's it for my side, guys, for the day. Thank you for all your loves and blessings. So see you guys on Monday, and Monday we will go and see more deep dive into one very amazing project coming up on Monday. Monday will let you know about the certificate process as well, where how you can claim your certificate. So how can I give the quiz, because yesterday I'm not able to see my program on portal. So आप आज check कर सकते हो. You already have the access. Just re-log in it again one more time. You will access. You will can go and see the quiz from where you can apply it. A last day to submit the project. My team will update you. Thank you, Shikha. Thank you, everyone. Gayatri, attendance you don't have to mark it in the live chat. After we end the this live stream, you guys can go and mark your attendance in the comment. Okay. So that's it, guys, for my side for the day. For my side, guys, thank you everyone for joining. Have a great day and see you guys in the next session. Bye. Take care and good day, everyone, guys.